Namaste, guys. It's Shavanna. We are doing readings for water signs. This is for the energy that we're trying to harness from the new moon in Virgo that just passed on Sunday. And this is all about cleaning things up, getting tidy, organized, coming up with really good processes to make your life easier, especially with everything you've manifested since the beginning of the year. We've gone through all these changes. We've been really up in the air, really up in the ether with everything as far as our wishes and intentions, and all those have manifested, and that's great. Now we need to come up with, it's really freaking great. It's been hard. There's been a lot to get through, a lot of things that were sacrificed in lieu of the cause and your life's purpose, my life's purpose. All worth it, 100%. But now's the time with the Virgo new moon, and this is awesome, is to come up with processes for yourself. What's going to put your life's purpose, your hopes, your wishes, whatever it is that you're trying to manifest with this new moon in Virgo, what is it, how can we make it better? What can we do better? First of all, you clean up your space, clean up yourself. It's a great time to detox, I think, and do some mind clearing. Also, really with these intentions, think about what your main focus is and concentrate on that for this Virgo, and ask yourself, where is your next step? What is it that you need to do? How can you come up with a process to get on the path that's going to put you in a successful moment with what you're trying to manifest? So I did go ahead and pull the energy cards, and then we have Mercury and Libra. Mercury is in Virgo, I believe, yeah, that's correct. And Libra is actually in, what is Libra in? I'm sorry, the moon is actually in Libra, just entered Libra. And Mercury is making sure, Mercury is in Virgo. It is conjunct with the Palace A. So yes, Libra, the moon has just entered in Libra after being the new moon in Virgo. So we're transitioning into this energy as well. Yes, it is still carrying that Virgo energy for sure with the new moon. This is just the next process with this energy. And for me, this is about pairs, couples, fairness. Also making sure, as you see the violet hair, that when handing out justice or wanting to hand out justice, that you're being fair, that you are thinking of the overall highest good. Make sure you're utilizing that violet flame when it comes to making your decisions. This is definitely about a pair, or even a pair in business or love, as you can see there, and they each have an equal amount of light going on for them there. And then there's Mercury. Mercury's over here looking up at the light as well, of course, deep in the weeds, in the water. Mercury being in Virgo, still that energy and the communication that comes with that. 6 is another, the 15, the 5, and the 1 makes 6, 6 and 7, so this is in sequence, and that would make sense, Virgo, and then Libra. 6 is a number for couples as well. And let's just read in the book here what it says about these two energies outside of what I said it's about. You know, Mercury is also a messenger. So you probably will be receiving some pretty darn good advice here from the divine in regards to what we need to be doing with this new moon in Virgo energy. All right, Mercury is associated with the Roman god Mercury, the messenger of the gods, and the intermediary between humans and the gods. Mercury is all about the mind, specifically intelligence and communication, the desire to share your ideas and be heard, as well as yearning for further education, formal or informal, is also under Mercury's governance. So think about what it is, you know, you're trying to manifest with this, and your intentions you're trying to set with this new moon in Virgo energy. Is there something that you can become more educated on? It's really asking you to boost your knowledge on what it is you're trying to manifest. That also comes with, in what's coming to me, is to make sure you know what it is you're asking for. Make sure you know yourself too, as well. Get yourself educated on all corners on this new moon to the full moon. It's hard to ask what you need out of others if you don't understand everything that you are yourself. I definitely recommend everybody pull themselves their natal charts. Look at their planets, look where they are trine and conjunct and all that stuff. There's so much. Learn all that. Learn your houses, learn the planets in the houses, your Lord planets, where they're landing in your natal chart for astrology. It tells you so much about you. It even can tell you your past lives. It tells you, and it can even tell you the challenges that you're having. It could tell you when marriage may be approaching you. It can tell you the type of person you may be looking for or should be looking for. That is a fantastic way of knowing yourself cosmically, and then also know yourself, mundanely. Be realistic about what it is you really, really want. Don't be so flippant with this Virgo energy, because she is all about perfection, all about getting your life onto its path for its highest good and success. She's like the mom. She's the organizer. She wants you to find the, work smarter, not harder. So she wants you to come up with these kind of ways to get through for the rest of the year, because you've got everything that you have manifested, you wished for and hoped for, has come to pass. And now, do we continue on with the kind of the bloody knees and bloodbath, or do we find a good way to move forward? And as we go into the next year, the new things we will need to add to that. So you need to lighten the load for sure. Now, okay. Now we're going to go into Libra. I was going to say 3 minutes, but I'm going to hold on to my thought there till we get through the other readings. Now, Libra. So the moon is now in Libra. Mercury is in Virgo, right in alignment with what's going on. We have the 6 and 7, so this is a definite forward movement. And Libra is about balance. It's an air sign, of course. The discerning energy of air takes on the cardinal to solve it quality and encourages identifying and solving problems. The key phrase, I balance, means that fairness, justice, and everyone getting along are the primary motivational drives. In this situation, ask, how can I manifest fair and stable balance? Ideals are beautiful things and very good guides. Ideals are great guiding stars, and the desire for fairness commendable. However, in the real world, ideals rarely exist in pristine form and justice elusive. At some point, decisions need to be made, and avoid indecisiveness. Yes, talking about that balance. And no, even as hard as it is, that that decision does have to be made when you're handing out some justice. She's asking for balance in your life. Mercury is asking you to dive deeper into your intentions and become more knowledgeable of yourself and of the idea, the person, the true want that you're, and asking yourself also, becoming educated on what you may be lining up for yourself in processes. You know, she wants fairness. You know, and they're saying use your ideals, use what you morally is what's going on, but at the same time you need to go inside and really look around everything and make sure that you're making the decision based on the highest good, and that means you first. That always means you first. That doesn't mean your father, your mother, your husband, your kids. You got to do what's best for you first. And that's why we need to see the balance here. Also, with this new moon in Virgo and whatever it is that you are wanting to set, that Mercury's asking you to get your education on, you know, especially before you start communicating that to anyone, is make sure that what you're trying to do and how you're going to go about this with the new moon in Virgo energy is make sure you do stay in alignment and balance. Make sure that with the certain aspects of your life, even mundane, to reaching for source, that you are remaining balanced, that this idea doesn't take away from your relationship with the divine, with your path and communication also with your divine. It's almost like be careful what you ask for. That's why we need the education. Be really get yourself educated, because this looks like it has the ability to possibly throw you off balance if you don't understand what it is you're asking for, if you aren't true to yourself, if you're not being realistic about some certain things. So listen to your guides. When you go into meditation, conjure that violet flame. Ask for Zadkiel and Saint Germain, and channel, see what they have to say, give their advice. Like, of course your ideals are great, and always come in with a desire for fairness, and that's awesome. But in the world we live in, those don't always match up. So really get the education, really look around you, really make sure you're doing it for the highest good meaning you first. Keep yourself in balance with your cosmic world, as I call it, my little cosmic world, and the earth mundane world as well. And don't let things get too overshadowed that you cannot communicate. You cannot receive messages. You get so clouded and everything else. Don't let these two heads overtake this head right here, if you know what I'm saying. Always trust in your divine. They have your highest good always, 24/7. All right, so this is water signs: Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. And what we need to be doing with this new moon energy. Now, this is the overall energy for this reading. Let's get this about what you need to educate yourself on. High Priestess. And then what you need to do to manifest your best outcome in fairness to yourself, to your cause. One that doesn't complicate, because Virgo wants you to simplify. And Libra, this moon in Libra on 7 is warning you of complications. Ooh. Or maybe even that if you are communicating your ideas like Mercury energy is making you desire to do, be very, 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 very careful. I would almost say don't. Because, you know, whatever that idea is could just bunch something up. I mean, maybe somebody will steal your idea. Maybe somebody will take something wrong and then cause some drama and you know, chaos. Something, you know, something will, it doesn't necessarily come out that great for you in that aspect if you communicate. If you're communicating your ideas. So be cautious there. And before that, make sure you are doing your, you know, your legwork on, you know, really dive in, dig into yourself. Okay, number 2 of them, and we've got the World and the Moon. Seven, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's see. 12 is 22, and that's a 4. 22 is also a paired partner number. 3, 21. 9 and 2. 9 and 2 is 11. All of these are about relationships. So this was actually what you needed to become educated on. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm sorry. That's wrong. But you know what? I'm going to leave it. I had the pull to do that. I'm going to do it. I'm just going to do it. I'm not going to go back on that. Nope. No, ma'am. And sir. All right, so this is what you need to manifest, the highest good. I know I pulled those, but I was, hey, I'll go with it. We don't question. We just had some jumpers. All right. This is what we need to do to manifest absolute balance and fairness in this situation. We have the 9 of Earth and the King of Air. All right, so let's start with what we need to become more educated on. So we'll start with the first card pull. I'm going to just pull those over there so we can see everything. And we're going to start with the High Priestess. She's coming in as the number 2. Of course, as a major arcana, as always. 2 is been a big number today. 2 is about partnerships, new beginnings in either love or business. The kind of putting into action ideas. Let's see, High Priestess. Some things. So High Priestess is coming in as a mystery. Some things are not meant to be known intellectually, but are meant to be experienced through intuition. This card reminds me to trust that I have access to higher wisdom, and knowing when I tune in and trust my vibes, that this is the time when mysteries will be revealed and I can grow as a result. Makes sense with the moon. She's about mysteries being revealed. Almost telling you on some aspect you may not need to look too much for education. Try looking inside for your education. Go with that intuition. That's what's going to serve you best. And through that, that's where some mysteries are going to be revealed. All right, 9, the moon. 18, illusion. Oh my goodness. Water signs. At this time, I may not see the workings of spirit in the invisible realms, but I know there is great activity behind the scenes. It is important to trust the mystery and remember that the material realm is an illusion. Current conditions are not necessarily a reflection of the truth of what's really going on in the present. Great opportunities lie in the shadows, awaiting the perfect time for illumination. Interesting, guys. So it's telling you as you're going within and using your intuition about this mystery, and not trying to seek the outside world as far as knowledge and education you seek, or knowledge you seek in this, because this is almost like a divine mystery. It has divine timing on when it is going to be revealed, but it won't be revealed unless you go inside, unless you do your meditation and start reaching for your guides for answers to this illusion. And I'm curious, so you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna pull some clarifiers, because aren't you curious? We are using the Good Tarot by Colette Baron Reed. This is what this is. And the Barbieri Zodiac for the overall energy. And then we're using the Lost Tarot by Nostradamus as some of our clarifiers. Now, these decks are new to me, so we're all going through this learning together on this. This Nostradamus one is really cool. It comes with quatrains and really different way of interpreting tarot. And can't wait to become more familiar with them. Doing pretty good, I think. Alright, so we need to know what is... Okay, so it says the mystery you may not be known just to have faith that behind the scenes they're working for you. So, is there anything that the divine wants you to know in regards to this mystery? These cards are so brand new. What is it you would like for these water signs to know in regards to this mysterious mystery? Oh, we got the moon again, guys. I don't know if they're gonna tell. And then we have the One of Moons with the dove. It's like doing the scrying, and then the dove comes out of that water. I have a feeling they're just repeating themselves. We'll throw one more down. Oh, goodness. You're so slick. What is it you would like for them to know about this mystery? that's useful for their highest good. Let me add that. Okay, so with that, I get the Hermit and the Ten of Moons. Now, moons are the cups. So the Ten of Cups is excellent. And we got the Moon twice, the Hermit, the Ace of Cups, basically, which starts about with the new. But this is all about a relationship and where you are headed. Now, it's not necessarily going to tell me what the mystery is. So we are going to just read what this says, because they don't want you to know, they don't want me to know. But they are hinting to you that it is about relationship and your overall happiness in the end in regards to it all. And as you can see, the moon is attached to the wheel there. So, you know, and channeling I really think what they're trying to say is that really go within yourself first. If you are manifesting and or thinking about the way that you can introduce love into your life or bring a certain person into your life or a person of interest into a like more permanent situation or relationship, even if you try to do some, you know, work like background check or, you know, really start paying, you know, attention to them, they really want you to just trust them on some mysteries that have yet to be revealed. And by going inside in meditation, after doing your own education and being, you know, really true to yourself about what you're trying to manifest, receiving your messages is what's going to trigger what some of these mysteries are about. And you remember, everything they do is for your highest good. Now, to me, it just means that maybe the person of interest that you have has some secrets, or he's not being completely honest, and they're like, that's okay, don't worry about it, we got it, and we'll let you know in time. Because why? This is probably a very big learning lesson for you, water signs. This is a necessary step in your process into getting you to the Ten of Cups, which is your ultimate, you know, happiness is in regards to love and family and emotions. I mean, even if it's in business, it's something you love to do. Nines are big. Tens, wow. Yeah. Yep. Okay, so we are going to go and read about these. That was just my channeling. That's what they're telling me. That's the best that I can do. I can't give you what the actual mystery or possible deception is, or it's, you know, and for them not to reveal it, knowing they have your back, this is going to be a very special lesson, and or something you learn is what is going to put you on your path to meeting the person that you're ultimately meant to be with, or the business you're meant to be involved in. But it does say a lot about, you know, we have the Hermit here doing a lot of self-reflection, you know, taking some time to yourself, to be by yourself, and really think about what is going to work for you in your life, and be true to yourself and your calling and your divine, and really is this really it? So, all right, we're going to start with the moon again with this. Yeah, you got that twice. That's definitely going on in your world, water signs. And this is great. That's what Virgo does. Virgo, you know, she's all about, you know, whoosh, we're trying to get to that next level, guys, and we're just going to wipe out anything that's not of your highest good. And or we're going to put in place what is in your highest good, and just make sure you're doing the work that you need to get yourself in line to that, to be successful. And some things you're just not meant to know, because it's more than likely a very big learning lesson. It's going to be huge for you in your life. So the moon card may at one time have depicted one of the classical goddesses of the moon, Diana or Phoebe, as in the Visconti Sforza deck dating from the 15th century. But for most decks since then, it has tended to show two towers with the moon rising between them, and often including two dogs howling at the lunar sphere. In almost every instance from the Renaissance onwards, the card has included a crayfish or a crab, the sign of the zodiological sign of Cancer, ruled by the moon. In Nostradamus' imagery, above the moon is a curious symbol that reappears in a number of the images in the Lost Book, a V-shaped sign in which is held an 8-spoked wheel and 3 sickle moons. The wheel may stand for the 8 seasonal divisions into quarters and cross quarters, seasons and equinoxes. The 3 moons are perhaps understood as the 3 lunar quadrants, which culminate in the 4th, the full moon below them, and taken collectively, these images can be seen as referring to the tidal changes that occur during the progress of the moon. Since the card itself has always been recognized as having everything to do with cyclicity, waxing, waning, and the tides, this does seem appropriate. So the interpretation here is the oldest meanings of this card tended towards the negative, having to do with lunar madness and inconsistency. But for the magicians of the Renaissance, there was a better understanding. The moon ruled over the tidal energy of human life, from the menstrual cycle to the actions of the sea. As such, in readings, it has more to do with shifting fortunes, the rise and fall and sweep of human affairs. Through this, it represents synchronicity, the way that seemingly unconnected events come together and are shown to influence each other. The ability to see these things is all part of lunar character, often indicating a psychic ability in the reader. Needless to say, such abilities should always be treated with caution, as they can give rise to the other major aspect of this card: uncertainty, delusion, and even deception. This doesn't, of course, mean that people with psychic gifts should be treated with suspicion. Merely the visions we receive by this need to be filtered and balanced by careful consideration, as what Libra was asking you as well. Exactly. And maybe then even something that you may hear as well. I mean, outside of source. And be prepared for what you are going to hear, because they are asking you. Excuse me. I'm sorry. They are asking you to go within and reach out to source. This is also asking you to look for synchronicity. So as part of that communication, knowing when you start seeing these synchronicities, to research that. That's what they want you to research, because it's going to be a step-by-step process in illuminating the delusion. All right, so we have the Ace of Moons, the One of Moons. Moons represents cups. Oh, I forgot to read the hold on, we have a quatrain here. Okay, so, or what they call couplet or couplet, what I saw. So for the moon, and these all come from Nostradamus, so this is what's really cool. For as the moon is so led by its angel, it influences the heavens as it draws near. And the prophetic references a great change in human destiny in the 21st century. So this is heralding a great change in your destiny. It's like tidal change, twilight, deception, period of increase. So yeah, we've definitely going through that expansion. So whatever happens with this is definitely setting you towards your highest good, and you getting expansion, which is what Virgo is about as well. So we have Moon. These cards are so interesting. The Suite of Moons, of course, you know, they include alchemy, so that's represented by silver. There's so much you can go into it by numerology. Silver, you know, gosh, what do you want to call that? The silver alchemy symbol, and you know, colors, all of that. Even how Nostradamus, or they say his son probably is the one who painted these. You know, his vision here of what this meant, trying to just maybe even meditate on it at some point and trying to figure out yourself how this resonates with you. But here we go. As you see, there's the gold down there, but this is for silver. So let's read what this says. So the couplet: people gather to see the newest spectacle, prince and kings with worshipful attendance. The suit of moons is equivalent to cups or vessels, and shares with this the central meaning of receptivity, femininity, and the emotions. In addition, it has come to be regarded as a symbolic of the sacred, sacred feminine. So the vessels or chalices have been identified with the imagery and symbolism of the Grail from Arthurian legends, and even with more ancient Celtic cauldron of inspiration that preceded it. The Ace of Moons therefore draws upon all of these ideas, along with qualities found in the symbolism of the moon itself. Lunacy or madness, the connection between ocean tides and the human menstrual cycle, the wildness and mystery of Earth's satellites are all present here, and there is no shortage of moons in the imagery of the Lost Book. For the ace, the primary image is of the dove descending into the Grail, from which rays beam out to all of creation. So the interpretation is, when translated into the life of the individual, the spirituality and emotional foundation of the Ace of Moons becomes indicative of home life, family, fertility, and generosity of spirit. The person represented here is a fount of wisdom, good and generous of spirit. The person is of good spirit and love. That they love to bring good news, to offer every kind of nourishment to those around them. This is also a card of good omens, suggesting that any new enterprise will flourish. So this is about home and family and nourishment, good cheer. This is like the mom card. This card here in the Lost Tarot of Nostradamus is basically the card that symbolizes, as well as you have the High Priestess and the Moon, the Divine Feminine, the everything that is her. So depending on if you're a male listening to this and you are a water sign, or a female listening to this as your water sign, if you're male, it's telling you about the person that they have coming to you in your life, your Divine Feminine. And that's why they need for you to do some of the things you do. This is what you're looking at. If you are the Divine Feminine, it is basically asking you to remember, as we are going through this process, and as you're doing the intuitive guides here, and the steps are being revealed and the mysteries start unwinding in front of you, that you just remain balanced with your emotions, because all what you do does affect your family life. Make sure that you're true to yourself and you do deal with your emotions, absolutely, but you have to keep fairness and balance, and not to be reactive. Do not be reactive when you find out what is going on in your world. You have to just trust in the divine, that they have your highest good, as they mentioned here as well, and know that this is who you are, Divine Feminine. and because you are who you are, in good spirit, you are the representation in full of what they desire out of a divine feminine, that your highest good will ultimately be played out in this. So just a little hint there, guys. That's awesome, though. That's great. That's some good advice. Do not be reactive, water signs, when you find out. And make sure it doesn't become something that's disruptive to your life and home and family. I mean, just make sure that the decisions you're making as well and the path you're setting up is good for that, because that is the expectation they have coming from you, being the symbolism of their ultimate divine feminine. All right, so now we have 9, the Hermit. 9 plus 1 is 10. Which is that one, but here we have the Hermit. So now we're going to go and see what this is about. Well, the Hermit's pretty self-explanatory, it's about just stepping out to yourself and going within, seeking that light that you need to take your next step, being open so that you can see the synchronicities and signs with the communication they're trying to hand to you in regards to this mystery. So number 9, the Hermit. When we see Hermit, we probably imagine the essential idea of a person who dwells in solitary isolation, contemplating the events of the world or of their life, and seeking a resolution to all. And it is this aspect of the archetype that is represented in Nostradamus' illustration. However, the Hermit of the Tarot is no ordinary character, as his alternate names of the Old Man or the Devourer of Things indicate. In fact, the earliest tarot images identify him with the figure of time, or sometimes the Roman god Saturn. And you guys, Saturn is huge energy with this new moon to full moon, especially full moon in Aries. It resonates Saturn's energy. So that is key. And Saturn is all about wanting you to have drive and really going for it. It's that energy that makes you really want to go for it. Or sometimes the Roman god Saturn who preceded him. This completely changes the seemingly benign figure of the Hermit into a far more serious proposition. Since time is generally seen as the great enemy of humanity, the one who rolls up life and in the end takes it away, he is a figure demanding our attention. Behind him, it's possible that another figure hides another of the cardinal virtues mentioned for the Justice card. Here it is prudence, whose ability to take a more considered account of events enables her to temper the passage of time to a degree. The iconography of prudence includes a mirror in which she is able to observe the serpent that accompanies her. This probably refers to the idea of the serpent of Ouroboros from Gnostic belief, which is shown with its tail in its mouth and signifies the endless cyclicity of time. A prudent act was one that took into account the past and future as well as the present, enabling the seeker to reach a balanced state of being. The Hermit, therefore, is one who contemplates the passage of events in order to find the true meaning. The mirror of prudence becomes the speculation of the Hermit. This balanced contemplation of the passage of time also suggests prophecy, so we may imagine that the Hermit is something of a self-portrait of Nostradamus. So interpretation. The Hermit is a card that suggests not only the deep contemplation of events, but also the acknowledgement of the passage of time and the way this impacts upon the issue under consideration. Such acknowledgement allows the seeker to be detached from the issue, enabling a clearer view of the circumstances that have brought the problem into being. Sometimes this card in a reading suggests the presence of a teacher or guide who shows us how to reach a point of stillness that enables us to see more clearly what action to take. For this reason, the Hermit is also seen as representing transition, self-awareness, the acknowledgement of the real place we have reached in our journey through life, almost always triggers a change. From the moment the pendulum swings, reaches a point of rest, the only thing that can follow is motion. Thus, this card suggests movement away from stasis, a triumphant return to a path abandoned, and a deepening of awareness of the goals of life. To reach this, we may have to enter into a period of withdrawal, but it is important to keep a finger on the pulse of life in case we become caught in the circle of time and lose our way. Again, as Libra was warning here. Let's see. This is the darker side of the card, which it can appear. So, as you can see, guys, again, they are just saying the same thing, basically. Not only, I mean, is the Hermit has to retreat to kind of find the truth or the correct path. It's asking you to really look at the situation. If it's something you've heard, something that the divine is showing you, they're almost as a test asking you to detach from the situation, and that may mean a little time of withdrawal, but keep your hand in the world, keep your foot in there, do the hokey pokey a little bit with that. Don't lose yourself in trying to figure this out. Maintain balance, essential in this, because that's what's going to set you onto a path that you thought was long dead, gone, and this mystery is going to reveal itself, and why this other path is necessary to be taken. Also, you know, kind of take a look at yourself as well. Again, as they're saying, is do they do your inner work? Don't rule on assumptions. Look at the past, the present, and the future of the situation or the person. Really, you know, go inside, seek the advice of your guides, look for the synchronicities. It will 100% be revealed. There is no doubt about it, and you're going to be shocked, like they said, as the pendulum swings, when that other path that you are putting yourself on at this point, and go for it. Do not change it. Don't change it at this point. This is a big life lesson. You're actually exactly where you need to be right now. I know that seems weird when they're saying that there's some mysteries behind where you're headed, but what they're saying is that's okay, because that is how you get to the correct path you need to take, or the path you thought was dead and gone, that they're saying, oh, no, it's not. You just needed to learn this first. There's a valuable lesson to be learned here. Valuable, very valuable. They would not be putting you through this if it weren't the case. This is going to ultimately, it's going to teach you how to, in the future as well, when you are put up against these kind of situations, how to handle them and keep yourself that magnificent divine feminine that they require out of you, especially if you're an intuitive or you're a light worker. That is essential for you to remain in balance and not to be crazed by your emotions, or let that overtake you, or become imbalanced, or be so obsessed with it that you lose yourself in either world. You have to keep yourself in both. Definitely have to keep yourself in both. Okay, so now we also have the Ten of Moons. Oh, and that, I keep forgetting this, but, sorry. So, little couplet from the Lost Tarot of Nostradamus says, 2 revolutions made by the evil sickle wielder, which is Saturn, of course that's usually death, changes both kingdoms and their dispensations. So they're using as a reference like the French and Russian revolutions. Sometimes you have to kind of go through something in order, you know, they're referencing like sort of like a war, but I think this is more of a moralistic war for you, or also a spiritual one. You're going to want to fight what you're seeing and hearing, and they're urging you not to, and to have faith and to detach so that you can see the realness of what they're trying to say, and you can see that illuminated path that you would have missed otherwise. Super important. So just be prepared, be ready for it, guys. All right, so the 10 of moons. Oh, skipped right over it. All right, 10 of moons. Okay, the couplet from there is the tree which has so long been dried up, dead, in one night will become verdant again. I guess he was talking about the stasis, when that pendulum stops swinging. The only thing you can do is movement. So this is echoing that, as well as, you know, the what seemed dead and done and alive all of a sudden sprouts life again. So the imagery here is of a tower, perhaps the one shown in the Burning Tower of the Major Arcana. The suggestion is that even such an apparently solid and four-squared edifice may still be brought down. On closer examination, it is notable that both the door and the windows are blocked, implying that the outer show of strength may hide a darker reality, that this great building is actually a prison. Yet, because this is often seen as the card of home, it may also be seen as a refuge. So, interpretation: you may regard your dwelling, your city, town, or village as the center of the universe, and those who live within it as your tribe. Your dreams find a home here too, and you are borne up by waves of delight, passion, and contentment. But you should be careful of becoming overwhelmed, or your ego inflated by the attentions of others. So, country, your public, your honor, your welfare, and your security, contentment, and people. This is signaling your home environment there, lovies. For me, I'd hit, because this is the moon, and I see why they did this now. This is kind of giving you a hint of what this is they're talking about. That what you're ultimately asking for and dreaming about, and what they want for you as well, is this warm, steady house full of nourishment and abundance and love and spirituality. And everybody in it is a part of your everything. But do not get wrapped up in someone who may be in this tribe, and or one you may be wanting to move into this tribe situation. Don't get wrapped up in all of the, oh babies, I love you, the compliments, the gifts, the over-the-top stuff. Be really careful. Just watch the behavior. Get to know this person. Look for synchronicities. Look for the red flags. Detach so you can honestly see what's going on. And come back to the path you needed, because this home that is love, and this goes two ways. It could be boarded up because it's tight and it's secure, and you have your hands and your arms around your family and your tribe, and your world is great and you feel whole and wonderful. Or it can turn into a prison, which means you are imprisoned. You allow this person into this domicile, and all of a sudden this warm, lovely place that you call home has now become a prison, all generated by said person. And so be really, really careful. This is a hint. So if you've got somebody like that in your life and you know it, now's the time to kind of just step back, kind of meditate, find a way to detach so that you can have more clarity. Now, just to say, as devil's advocate, I had done a reading once where I thought it was going to go completely negative about a person. What it did end up doing was, when the person went within, and then when they got their messages, and they ultimately chose with their heart what was going to happen, whatever, it was the ultimate best thing this person could do, even though this other person, compared to what everybody else would think, would have some borderline character issues. This person ended up doing so many great things for Taurus, so many great things for Taurus, that it just overshadowed. I mean, this was ultimately the best person for this Taurus, because her madness sort of is what drove him out of the cave so that he could do his life's purpose. So be careful in judging a book by its cover, and I think that's what the Hermit's also saying. Libra here is also saying it as well. Do not become reactive. Detach from it. Really look at it as a person of divine wisdom. Take the messages, see the synchronicities, open yourself up so that you can see what they're talking about. The path may very well be with the said person or in the direction that you're headed. Do not judge a book by its cover. Take the time. Don't assume. Take the time to see everything in its full light, by not including yourself in that. The only way you include yourself is to work on yourself. Go inside yourself and talk to yourself about what it is you really want. Get to know yourself and make sure this is in alignment with where you're headed in the future with your life purpose and where overall what you want for your life. All right, so Libra, we pulled the World, and that's pretty cool. That's great, and that came with a good lesson. All of this is a great lesson, water signs. So with Libra, we asked what we needed to manifest in order for this fairness to be handed out, so that we could be in this position of making sure we have balance and keeping ourself, in check in both worlds. And this is perspective. So I'm being called to shift my perspective on my life now. When I remember I'm first, and we said that earlier, make sure you're first. That means taking care of you first and foremost, an immortal soul experiencing life as a human being. I have no fear. I can see clearly that I'm a powerful co-creator in a divine partnership with Spirit. So by aligning myself with Spirit and remaining unattached to outcomes, I'm a conduit for miracles. Trust them, love you more than you love this right now. Do that. Do trust, because they are bringing you miracles. People, this is all just to give you this gift. And in lieu of that, take you, expand you. They are giving you expansion. Not necessarily the education they really want you to do is the education on yourself. That way you can open up, be realistic, really come to whatever it is place that you need to be, so that you're open and clear and whole, and to receive these messages, but to remain balanced and make sure your home life doesn't get all ripped up by this situation too. And I wonder if they would just throw you a bone, water signs. And so yeah, they want to manifest a miracle in your life there, sweets. They're going to be like, you didn't think that this could happen for you, or that this was going to happen, but watch our smoke. Because you listened and are the divine feminine we request and desire for all of us females and or males who carry a lot of the feminine energy, that you're gifted. You are being gifted, and also through the gift you're getting a lesson, and you're getting expansion of your wisdom, of your overall spiritual self. And then they give you up. There's the Empress again. There's the Empress again. You got 2 moons and 2 empresses, guys. You are the key, sisters and brothers. You are the key to your own manifestation here, as long as you take the advice that they're issuing out right now, which is super important. Okay, so I keep saying that. I keep going back and forth between these two, and I wonder freaking why. We're just going to go with it. And then we're going to see how these two tie in. Because, yeah, there it is. I pulled it right back again. High Priestess, Moon, and the World. Weird. And there's the keyhole right there that I just mentioned. Yep. Earth, the moon, and then the key to it all, Earth, moon. And that's you. As she's wearing her cornflower blue, which is definitely a divine color of spirit. So the Empress in the lost book of... Yeah, I'm just not going to guess this. I'm just moving this around as they see fit. I mean, obviously, that's what I'm supposed to do. So, I mean, very weird. Very, very strange. Okay, so the Empress can be said to complete the feminine energy represented by the Papist. Where the Papist brings wisdom, the Empress brings strength and holds within her the qualities of rulership and command. In the oldest tarot deck, she was very simply a ruler, possibly based in the 8th century Empress Irene of Byzantium, Eleonora of Portugal, wife to the Holy Roman Emperor Frederick III, who ruled over most of Europe for much of the 15th century, when the first tarots were created. But from the 19th century onwards, her more mystical aspect became the focus. She is now more often seen as the woman clothed in the sun and crowned with the stars, from the biblical book of Revelations, while the more esoteric interpreters refer to her as Isis or Urania. Many have seen her as Venus or Aphrodite, the classical goddess of love, and the stories of their capricious nature and nurture have become part of the meaning of the card. She can be seen to stand for every powerful female ruler from ancient times to the present, including Cleopatra, Elizabeth I, and Nostradamus' patroness Catherine de' Medici, and many, many more. In our own time, she can be recognized as the powerful CEO of a company, the female prime minister, or the advisor to the heads of government. The Lost Book shows her as a calm and regal, standing between two ladies who defer to her. The more usual depiction of her throne and dispensing judgment is missing here, but she radiates power nonetheless. In essence, as the third archetype in the Greater Trumps, she is the marriage of the one and the two, combining the wisdom of the Papist with the wild insightfulness of the magician. Unlike her powerful sister, the Papist, the Empress embodies human love and that of the mother, rather than the power of the knowledge and wisdom. Her task is to watch over those who come to her, and her kindness manifests as maternal love. She is also the sovereign of romantic love and represents the passionate response of man to woman or woman to man. In her upright position, she represents the strength of feelings, but when negativity aspected, she can signify a reliance on passion and emotion without due consideration. In a reading, she may represent a strong female companion, a wife, a sister, daughter, or friend, whose earthly qualities lend themselves to offering support, but when reversed, she can overbalance the psyche by encouraging reckless behavior. Her two strengths are the nurture she offers and the understanding of passionate relationships. All right, so again, I just think that they're repeating themselves. Same here, talking about being the divine feminine, the ultimate divine feminine. She's a representation of that as well. Not only that your powers are, more passionate, romantic, and Venus, so I'm going to see where Venus is lying here. You're also clothed and robed in the divine. You two do work hand in hand in your everyday existence. That's what makes a divine feminine. Because you're so wrapped up in love, don't get so wrapped up in the passion that you can't become detached. That your ability to see and or decipher, to judge, to be awakened on any measure, just make sure that you don't find yourself there. Stay in conjunction with your divine. Stay in partnership with them. Stay in communication. Stay in gratitude and gratefulness and opening yourself up. Kind of detach yourself. If you have to detach yourself by getting away just for a moment, because if somebody has a tie on you and you're just too wound up in them, too just covered in them, that you're so blind, go ahead and take some time to get away so that you can detach reasonably through your meditation and through some of the synchronicities and messages that they're trying to give you. It's just very much cautious about making sure that your home life does not become disturbed in lieu of this situation, because it all does rest on you and how you react. And they're asking you to become your highest self in this situation so that they can bring forth, you'll have a whole better time at it. There'll be a lot better time at it. You'll learn a lot. You'll become an expanded person, and then they're also going to be able to bring this miracle into your life. So, and they're not necessarily telling me because you're not supposed to know, but they did give you some hints, so that's nice. That's good. That's nice of them. Okay, so when I jumbled up these and actually said, well, you know, that's not about what you have to manifest, and put it over here with Mercury and what the deceptions may be, where you need to go, you know, what is some of the hints, you know, is useful to you and necessary for you to know. And because obviously they're not going to tell you, I pulled this out and ended up doing that. But because I did that initially, I pulled 2 more cards. Well, I was going to pull 1, but 2 jumped out. So we're just going to take this as an additional message that otherwise I would not have even attempted to pull. So this is the 9 of Earth. So this is them again working for you. This is showing how much. I mean, they're even manipulating how I'm going about my reading just to make sure that you get this message here. Oh, 9 of Earth. Oh, I'm looking at the Nostradamus one, like that's what I'm just blown away by the Nostradamus thing for sure. A 9 of Earth. 9s have been big. This new moon. Shifting negative self-talk to self-compassion. From fear to possibility, a call to faith. With a gentle, mellifluous voice, I tell myself that I will be okay, and that I am okay, and that any fear is merely false evidence appearing as real. I forgive myself because I know I am human, trying the best I can, and need only call on Spirit to remember that I can and will do better as new possibilities begin to gather on my horizon. So when this all comes to play, they say you're definitely going to be doing some self-beating up. You know, God darn it, why didn't I see this? I mean, I know I saw it. Why did I ignore it? I'm so stupid. There must be something wrong with me. Don't do that. That's not true. You are perfect to them in their eyes. You are the ultimate divine feminine, the mother, the loving, the passion. You are all about love, and that's what we're all supposed to be about all of the time. And this is why they have your back, you know. But this person or whatever the situation is coming into your life, you know, or maybe this is even how you end up, like, not taking the advice and becoming reactive and judging a book by its cover and not doing the past and the present and the future and situation by detaching. Who knows? But when this comes to play, be sure to remember you are doing the best that you can. And that you just have to tell yourself that you'll do better to see the synchronicities and the signs next time and to take the advice. That's really all that you can do. And wait for that yellow flower to turn into a dandelion, because when it turns into a dandelion, then you just blow, make your wishes, and they go spread all over everywhere, and you just become abundant. So you can take that mask off and don't worry. Divine loves you. You're okay. You're gonna be okay. Now the King of Air. these all in front. Okay, King of Air. Intellectual authority, reason over instinct. Intellect over passion. They keep telling you that. Intellect over passion. Successful negotiation, rules and laws. Truth is everything. I think before I act. I work the universal laws with clear intention. And do I see how the foundations of the past affect the present and the future? Kind of, you are so much the divine feminine. This King of Air is telling you to embrace some of your masculine. Embrace that masculine that's in you. The masculine that's authoritative, that has reason over instinct, intellect over passion, who is capable of successful negotiation and communication and the rules and the law. Truth is everything. I think before I act. So don't hide behind it. Don't hide or run from that truth. It is everything. And do think before you act. Do not become responsive. You work with universal laws with clear intention. And now do you see how the foundations of the past affect the present and the future? Huge lesson coming for you guys here, water signs. Huge, huge lesson. This reading is from the 9th until like the 26th, when the full moon is in Aries. Very heavily Saturn based energy as well. I mean, I'm going to be reading more up on that whole aspect, but yes, that's for you, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. Now we're going to pull your individual oracle cards for each sign. And I gotta say, I'm going with the light workers on this one, guys. Okay, this is the Keepers of the Light Oracle cards by Kyle Gray. Artwork by Lily Moses. And let's see what your Keepers of the Light guides and guardians have to give advice-wise for Pisces through this new moon energy to the full moon. What is your advice? What says you, guides, to Pisces? Kutumi, Cloak of Wisdom. Again, that blue Cloak of Wisdom. You already know the answer you need, or you already know the answer you seek. Trust what you know. So, for the Pisces that are coming into this kind of situation, you already have a kind of clue or indication that you may be dodging because the truth is pretty hard to deal with. You don't want to believe it, but once you go into reflection and detach and put on that wise cloak, see everything for what it is, see how the path you're on may be conducive to some not so pleasant things in, the present and future, that, you'll come to that realization. But at least they're giving you the hint that, at least as Pisces is concerned, you already know the answer. You already know what's up. You're smart. You've already thought about it. So, Kutumi is an ascended master who appears as a well-dressed Indian man with a golden aura. His teachings were brought to the world by Madame Blavatsky in the 19th century. There are many different theories as to his true identity. Many believe he was a wandering man known as a rishi in India, dedicated to walking the path of spirit and very few material possessions. Others believe him to have been a well-educated Sikh spiritual leader who has given a pseudonym to protect his true identity. I believe that he lived a high life, but through spiritual practice was able to let go of his need for material possessions. Now he helps light workers go beyond the limits set by others and cultivate a personal connection to God. Your extended message is: knowledge is learned, wisdom is remembered. You are in a real cloak of wisdom now. Like Kutumi, you have been on a wandering path, trying to find answers through study and insights of others. So there's that education that Mercury's talking to you about. But then they're saying, okay, yeah, we want you to have education, but the education needs to come from us. That's what his message is. With the higher, the intelligence they're wanting you to seek is spiritual. But now you're uncovering the truth of your own. Yeah, okay. But now you're uncovering the truth of your own soul. Your soul is leading the way, and you are being encouraged to follow. The fog is clearing, the light has come, and it's shining on you. Your soul is saying, yes, it's your cheerleader. Follow it and trust the endless wisdom within you, and go, go, go. So you already know, Pisces. You already know what's up. You can trust your intuition. As that fog is clearing and things, are being represented to you, you go forward in what you know you need to do in this situation. You keep that cloak of wisdom. Know that your soul is taking you in the right direction because it's directed by the divine. Good job, Pisces. You already know. You're kind of a little ahead of the game. Okay, so this is for Cancer. Your message from your guides. Cancer, in regards to this Virgo new moon energy to the full moon in Aries at the end of the month. This is what they'd like for you to know, or their advice. Message. Now, Cancer, you have Brigide. Inner strength. Move back to wholeness. Recognize that you have the power. And as you see, she holds the flame in her hand. Move back to wholeness. So Cancer, Pisces can tend to be a little bit more aloof. But Cancer is, what do I do with my book there? Cancer is more of a caring. I think they can be a little bit more, I don't want to say gullible, but I'm going to say gullible. It looks a little bit like Cancer's kind of walked off their path a smidge and lost their way just a little, got a little too wrapped up. And so we're now, because this is a very heavy feminine energy that's coming from this new moon, because of new moon in Virgo, of course, all about the divine feminine. Really reaching this guide, Brigide, is just this Celtic goddess, is bringing to you the fire you need back to get on track. She is thrusting you back into your wholeness. And back to your confidence. So Brigide is a Celtic goddess of Ireland who is closely associated with fire in the time of spring. She is the twin flame of Cernunnos. She's so well loved by the Celtic people that when Christianity came to Ireland, she was adopted as a saint of holy wells and other holy places. She's a powerful figure who can help us channel our energy into something that is important for our growth. As she herself has lasted through the ages, she adds longevity to our journey so that we can reach a deep state of wholeness. You can call on her to bring her sacred flame to burn away anything that's not serving you, to bless any new projects you have in mind, and for support with fertility. Extended message. Your spiritual fire is growing within. Recognize that the power of your soul is greater than you think. You have come a long way since you began this journey. This is a powerful force within you, and you have the ability to create wonderful changes in your own life and inspire those around you to do the same. Be aware of new projects, opportunities, and fertile ideas that can grow into something larger than you may even imagine. Call on this fiery goddess Brigide to light the way ahead. So this, she definitely could be your person there, Cancer. You start recognizing the things that are going on. You need to ditch people or circumstances or living situation, a job that is no longer serving your higher good. You can call on her to wipe out anything, and you might be surprised on what she takes out that is not serving you and that has pushed you off your path somewhat. Look for her to illuminate that path again. But she's telling you that, you know what, the fire that I hold is the same thing that you have within you. It's really, truly there. You just have to believe. And that you can manifest these wonderful changes in your life. And you can bring the miracles into your life. And you can be open and intuitive. And know that certain things, when things are, this is where wisdom comes from, know when certain things are for our highest good, for our growth process. And to be humble with that outcome. But pretty much not to be detached to any outcome. Don't have that set in your mind so there's no disappointment. Just be who you are every single day and go with the flow. You cannot be responsible for other people and or where your future is headed. We all have a plan for that, but don't be so attached to an outcome that it is destructive and disturbing if it doesn't come out, because everything is for our highest good, people. So have an idea about where you'd like for it to go, but don't be married to it at all. Okay, that's Cancer. All right, now we got Scorpio. Scorps. This is your guided message, or your message from your guides, in regards to the Virgo new moon energy, to Aries full moon, whatever their advice is, or what they'd like to, messages they'd like to say to you, and Scorpio. One of my favorites, Lord Shiva, transcendence. Rise up. Sorry. Honor your inner force. Steps are being given and dance with the universe. Again, transcendence, Lord Shiva. Rise up. Honor your inner force. Steps are given and dance with the universe. And there's that serpent again, guys. We're talking about the third eye. Where we're at exactly on this day is this crescent waxing moon on as we speak. And tomorrow, when the moon shifts into Libra, more than it is now, it's just a shiver down into Libra. So these two are partners. These two are partnering up here. So rise up, honor your inner voice, or your inner force. So be true to that instinctive and the wisdom that you've, and where you have grown to this point, and have some confidence, Scorpio, in the growth you have made, and where you are spiritually, where you are with your divine, where you are within your confidence in yourself, that you can manifest anything, that you have the force of the divine and source within you. And Lord Shiva, that is the dancing god. Just up in the cosmos, just having a good time, because as you can tell, they always do their gods and kind of an androgynous, they honor both the male and female energy perfectly through their gods. It's on 70. Okay. Shiva is one of India's trinity of male god figures. He is depicted wearing a cobra around his neck, representing his capacity to tame fear or the ego, surrounded by stars, showing his connection to the cosmos, and holding a trident, acknowledging the three aspects of divine masculine power in India, which is the creator, the preserver, and the destroyer. He is known as the destroyer because of his warrior-like energy and ability to destroy fear. He's a facet of the Divine Father energy and offers paternal protection, support, and guidance. He's also acknowledged as the cosmic dancer because he helps coordinate the interaction between Earth and the cosmos. He has the capacity to help us move beyond the fear of failure and into clarity and connection. Lord Shiva, and this is your extended message, Scorpio, Lord Shiva is with you right now to awaken your sense of connection to life itself. You are moving through a very deep transition, and things will be clear from this point on. You will know exactly what you need to do and where you need to be. This is a powerful time as you will transcend the limitations that others have set for you. It is a time of innovation, ideas, stargazing, soul traveling, and soul revealing. Shiva, the Lord of Dance, is here with his sacred sound of Om to lead the way. Wow, Scorpio. So what you have coming up for you, even in lieu of this type of situation, your mystery is more about your huge leap of transcendence from where you are now. Where the steps they're going to provide for you, which may be a little bit harder on Cancer and Pisces, is going to be obvious for you. You'll know exactly what to do, and you'll know exactly where to go. And as long as you stay trustworthy in your inner force and trust in guide and just go with the flow, dance with, just go. Don't think about it. What the other two water signs are needing to do is something that you're not needing to do, because you are like where Pisces has already kind of got a grip. Cancer's kind of a little bit off their path, but Scorpio, you're already ahead of it. You're so far into your ascension that the gods are stepping in for you and are making it clear the next steps you need to take because of your discipline and loyalty. The way that you have handled, either way you're male or female, the way you have balanced your female and male energies in this aspect, he is bringing divinely down to you things that are going to blow your mind, things that just should not probably be going on for you, but he's got you. Do not be afraid of failure. Go into clarity and connection. Oh, just keep clear. Keep clear. Stay balanced. Keep this. Stay here. You are already here. You're here. Stay there. So you can see the path. Because what they have coming for you is bigger than a miracle. It's just unbelievable. It's just almost unbelievable. And as you see, his throat chakra here is illuminated. So try this Om meditation for sure to stay in connection with Lord Shiva, because this God is with you and will be with you through to the full moon until you're set and dancing in the cosmos with him. And this starts as of today. So start today. There's that trident. Throw all your emotion in there. Be honorable to that male energy. All of you water signs, definitely harness this male energy and balance with the female. You need both. You need that love and compassion, but you also need the detachment and the solidity of thoughts and rashness of the male in order to have your highest outcome. Gives you miracles, sets you back on your path. And like this one here is asking and begging for you to please grab hold of that masculine energy and make sure it is present in your everyday right now until the full moon, guys. So yeah, there is your messages for that. Congratulations, guys. Scorpio. Wow. And Cancer, you will get on your path, no worries. You've got a tight little wonderful Celtic goddess who is the bringer of light. She is revered and loved for her placement in mankind and her faith and her ability to draw you where you need to be. So you have a wonderful God in that aspect, and so do you, Pisces, just as the reminder of you know who you are, you know what you are, you know what you're worth, you know what's up, you already know what's wise. You just need to look for the synchronicities and not be reactive. So you know what, guys, I mean, all of these guys have a little serpent thing that's going around, because serpents are also about new beginnings. They're really birthing something that's going to be completely fertile, that is going to grow beyond your expectations, that's going to be something that just blows all of your minds. With Scorpio, keep in mind yours even goes to the next level. So congratulations, guys. We'll keep in touch through to the full moon in Aries on the 26th. And you have a great day. And namaste.